I think this is getting pretty interesting here. Because we saw what happened yesterday. We saw Kamala Harris snub the Prime Minister Netanyahu yesterday. We saw these crazy protesters, some of them getting violent, chanting Allahu Akbar. We saw the Palestinian flag being put up instead of the American flag. We saw people burning the American flag. Is Kamala Harris now appealing to that radical wing of the Democratic Party? Is that the new Democratic Party?
That is the Democratic Party. That's where the energy of the Democratic Party is. It's the socialist wing and the increasingly the anti-Semitic wing of the Democratic Party that rethought the priorities that our party once stood for. And the irony is that the working class people that the Democrats historically claimed to have been for, and I believe when I was the Democratic governor, we were for, they no longer have a voice in our party. The party now is a party of elitists. And when George Clooney falls, Barack Obama listens, and Joe Biden loses his position on the ballot. No, this is a party that's controlled by movie stars, by Wall Street financiers, by Silicon Valley billionaires. They pretend to be on the side of the people. And in the unique situation of the black community, where poor people disproportionately are black, the Democrats are not interested in lifting them up out of where they are because they lose those votes. They do just enough to keep them where they are, and then they pander and get their votes.
They haven't done a thing to stop the violence in Chicago. Millions of people shot, and killed. Or African Americans, names we never hear of. Exit question: yes or no? Do you believe Barack Obama led a coup against Joe Biden?
I believe Barack Obama was.
Hi guys, welcome to Neverwinter Nights 1 Enhanced Edition. I'm modded as well to have high definition, what you just seen right now, cutscenes.
Thanks for being with us. When we come back, Kamala Harris has a big Israel problem while the Democrats continue to turn their back on our strongest.
I modded it through Steam. I had the HD assets as well for the game, etc., etc. The mods are right down below, right here. Click on the mod list, it's got everything there. I also have the strategy guide, which is good. I've had this for a while now. I played the Diamond Edition before Enhanced Edition ever was a thing.
Are you wasting my monthly subscriptions? I have lots of monthly subscriptions. Streaming, music, news sites. Now I can see them in one place. And the ones I forgot about? Experian.
Okay, let's start.
So I went to Experian. It actually helps lower my monthly bills. Phone, internet. Experian did the work. Help me take control of my money. You could save $670 a year when you cancel hidden subscriptions and lower your monthly bills. Get started now at Experian.com/save.
Anybody who owns property should worry about home title theft. There's no other crime that is so easy, so quick, and so lucrative.
Your home, your equity, and your peace of mind can all be stolen in one fell swoop by home title thieves like Matthew Cox.
Nobody thinks that I can take their house. Nobody thinks that.
Believe it or not, a single page document is all it takes to transfer
Towards the Underdark.
your name.
People think there's a whole huge process, but the truth is, it's a one-page document.
But it still must get through one final barrier, the county clerk.
When someone comes in with a fraudulent deed, if it's notarized and all the spaces are filled in, we, by statute, have to accept it. We cannot give it back to them and say, we know this is fraudulent, we're not going to file it. That's against the law. It's public records. It's a reporting system. They don't make a phone call. They report.
There's a ton of great content on. We're playing all this too.
We can't stop it from happening, and it only takes once for it to sting you. And it's a very sad thing to watch. You put your love into the house. And all of
First, we'll start the beginning.
It's a devastating crime.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock will monitor your title non-stop, alerting you to
Oh, here's the DLCs.
Warning notice.
Yeah, these we'll be playing these next.
Stop the rest.
After we're done with the official campaigns, and we'll do the extra. We'll do some extra content. We'll see. Except for the chess one, I can't really see me playing that one.
5 alerts. Immediately we contacted them, and within about 2 weeks, the deed was put back in my parents' name.
If you give us a call right now and mention promotional code LOCKIT, we'll give you your first 30 days of protection absolutely free.
Home Title Lock lived up to
every promise they make. Go on
Creative mail.
1-800-673-1633 and sign up today.
Protect your family. Buy life back now.
Thank you, Daddy.
That was us over 10 years ago.
Now, life back.
One of the rare occasions where humans are actually good in a game
Takes you to pick up the car and call.
like this.
Life could be saved.
The life back saved my life in 1 to 2 seconds.
Protecting families has always been our mission. I'm sure you love your family.
Okay.
Do us all a favor and get your own life back.
We're going for human male paladin.
Call 877-LIFE-BACK. Order now.
Nobody wants to. It's too expensive. And if they can extend a life of that roof and get 5 more years or 10 more years, it's a no-brainer.
What Roofbacks does is it helps people in that they don't have to spend that $15,000, $20,000 on a new roof. They can spend pennies on the dollar.
The Roofbacks product is a small percentage of the cost of replacing the roof.
This is a great financial decision for us as a community.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
Kamala Harris, she has a big Israel problem. According to a new report, many of Minnesota's uncommitted delegates will not support her as the party's nominee unless she commits to ending all military aid to Israel and comes out in support of a permanent ceasefire in Gaza. So is she going to cave to the new radical pro-Hamas wing of the Democratic Party? Well, one Jewish group is warning that a Kamala Harris presidency could make things worse, with anti-Semitism on the rise. We see it in the halls of Congress. We see it on college campuses. We see it worldwide.
Download some portrait packs too.
Was at the White House today
Off Steam.
with a seemingly unconscious Joe Biden, and then later Kamala Harris. And after her meeting, Kamala hinted at a hard leftward shift in U.S.
Half
policy
orcs.
if she was in charge. Listen to this.
I also expressed with the Prime Minister my serious concern about the scale of human suffering in Gaza, including the death of far too many innocent civilians. And I made clear my serious concern about the dire humanitarian situation there.
Remember, she praised the crazy college kids for speaking their truth about Israel, the ones like taking over all dorms at Columbia University. These meetings came just one day after anti-Israel protests took to the streets. They wreaked havoc all across Washington, D.C., burning American
Okay.
raising Palestinian ones in their place. Thankfully, Prime Minister Netanyahu, he will be meeting with President Trump tomorrow. We need the adult back in charge. Now, following the chaos and destruction in the streets, it took Kamala hours just to put out a statement on the disgusting displays across the city. And we're here with reaction. South Carolina Senator Tim Scott. You know, I kind of get, I believe the Kamala Harris that supported students speaking their truth when they were showing support after the worst terror attack in Israel's history. I think it spoke volumes. I think actions are louder than words. She chose not to be at this joint session yesterday with the Prime Minister, who I thought gave a Churchillian speech. That to me means a lot more than words that somebody wrote for her to put out just to try to put the controversy to rest.
Well, Sean, you're 100% right once again. There's no doubt that her snubbing Prime Minister Netanyahu in the most amazing speech I've heard all year long is absolutely abdication of her responsibility as Vice President. But more importantly, it signals a step to the left. I know that you could go further to the left than Joe Biden. But Kamala Harris never disappoints when it comes to going left. She is more aggressive against Israel than Joe Biden. She's more pro-Palestinian and anti-Semitic as it relates to the wing of her party that leads the conversation. She's willing to appease those in her party. That is disgusting, devastating, and will ring hollow to those of us who know you have to be loyal to your allies so that you can be lethal to your adversaries. She is looking for power and votes, not doing the right thing. I gotta say, the contrast in leadership, listening to Prime Minister Netanyahu talk about
Okay, looks good.
are your enemies, and they're victory will be your victory. What did Kamala Harris say? Nothing, because she wasn't there. She can't stand up to students.
Let's see.
Genocide, Jewish genocide. She says, as you've already said, speak your truth. Speak your truth. That's a lie. John 8:31 and 32 tells us that. To know the truth sets you free. To speak a lie oppresses you. There are so many people oppressed in Israel. Yes.
So she's scored to the left of Bernie Sanders. All right, we all know that. But here's my question. You know, we watched what happened in Israel on October 7th. It would have been the equivalent of 40,000 dead Americans in a day. On 9/11, we lost 2,977, and we lost many lives thereafter from 9/11-related illnesses. And 40,000 dead Americans if you extrapolate out population. And my question is, what part of murder, rape, beheading, torture, and kidnapping do these people on the left not care about, not understand, and why wouldn't they support Israel's right to win their war against a group that has in their charter a pledge to destroy Israel? And as Prime Minister Netanyahu said, this is civilization versus barbarism. Why wouldn't Joe and Kamala support their right to win that war?
The bottom line is simple as this. They want power not to protect people. It is a very simple fact. We look at the October 7th tragedy. We know you have to stand on the side of justice. She chose to sit down.
Unbelievable.
That's it.
Senator, great to see you. As always, thank you. When we come back, our old friend Gavin Newsom, he just ordered officials in his state to remove homeless encampments. Why the change? What happened? Our very own Sarah Carter on the ground in San Francisco speaking to residents as we continue.
Before revolution, before America, before destiny came calling, he was George. You have ambitions. I have tried, sir. A pioneer, a soldier, a leader on the rise. Keep the general out here now! This is the story of the greatest American before there was an America. This is the story of George. George, Rise of a Revolutionary. Streaming now on Fox Nation.
After careful review of medical guidance and research on cannabis, my recommendation is every home should have salon products. Powerful yet non-addictive. Targeted and long-lasting. I recommend salon products. It's good medicine.
These bills are crazy. She has no idea she's sitting on a gold mine. She doesn't know that if she owns a life insurance policy of $100,000 or more, she can sell all or part of it to Coventry for cash, even a term policy. Even a term policy?
Okay. I think this is good. I need the Constitution. I wish I had more points for strength. But that charisma's got to be up there too in the persuade. Let's see.
You can't control the amount of sleep that you're getting. I know, it's scary, unless you use Relaxium Sleep. Relaxium Sleep is a product that's made from natural ingredients, and it usually works from the very first night you try it.
Relaxium Sleep is studied, tested, and designed by a neurologist to help you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up refreshed.
Relaxium Sleep worked from the very first night I took it. I had more focus and mental clarity than I've had in years.
I wake up feeling alert and like I've had the best of sleep.
Stop being afraid and start sleeping your fears away with Relaxium Sleep. Your body and your mind will thank you.
Take Relaxium Sleep. It'll work. I promise you it'll work.
My company is so confident that Relaxium will work for you, he's asked us to give away 1,000 bottles. Visit tryrelaxium.com or call 800-801-1737.
Want the effects of Viagra, but faster? Eat Growth Sparks. They contain sildenafil and tadalafil, but sparks dissolve under the tongue. Dissolvables work faster than most pills. See if sparks are right for you at grove.com/sparks.
The headline Stevens, the story. Mark McCallum race out every angle.
Here's where the big stories are moving.
Don't miss the story with Mark McCallum. Weekdays on Fox News Channel. it's alcohol or drugs, impaired drivers pose a danger to us all. Suspect an impaired driver, call 911 to report unidentified progress to the police. Call it Operation Lookout, and we want you to be part of it. Thanks for helping to keep our roads safe. A message from Arrive Alive Drive Sober.
And today, California Governor Gavin Newsom had a sudden revelation. After 5.5 years in office, homelessness in the state is out of control. Well, it's so out of control, and he said it seemingly out of nowhere. He actually issued an executive order telling state agencies to begin clearing the extensive homeless encampments on state property and ask cities to do the same in their jurisdictions. Now, some claim Newsom is acting now due to a recent Supreme Court decision allowing
Okay, Bald's okay.
to back down on homeless encampments, but the timing doesn't seem, well, it does, I guess, in some ways, seems pretty rich, considering we're so close to the November elections. Anyway, our own Sarah Carter spent the day in San Francisco asking locals for their reaction to the news. Here's what they had to say.
Governor Newsom's executive order to clean up the state now. So he just signed an executive order. It was based on a Supreme Court decision in June to get the state cleaned up. That means homeless encampments on the street, people out. So how do you feel about that now that he's...
I'm conflicted because I know the Supreme Court has a decision which allows them to do this. I do see the areas in San Francisco which I really do need to be cleaned up. But then I think the other half of the equation is where do people go, what kind of services are there, and
can it be afforded?
Yeah.
Do you think it's more of a political issue now that it's an election year? I mean, some people said they would have rather seen...
Oh, 100%.
100% political.
I mean, sometimes it's incentives, right? If the people who are in power are incentivized to act only when it's political year, then sometimes that's the way it is.
Do you feel like leadership in California, particularly the Governor Newsom, do you think that they should have been thinking about this much longer, much before 2024 and the November election?
Well, but it took actually the Supreme Court to make the change. And so maybe that impacted it all.
Yeah, is that mind-boggling to you?
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you want your state to be clean?
Exactly.
All right, joining us now from San Francisco, our own Sarah Carter. What's next? They're going to get rid of sanctuary state status with free healthcare and education for illegal immigrants. Is that next?
I don't know if that's next, Sean, but this executive order basically directed state agencies and the local government to identify those most dangerous encampments. Many of the ones that you and I reported on in the past, both here in San Francisco, Oakland, and in Los Angeles. Once they identify those encampments, they're giving people only 2 days to get out of them. And residents are saying, wait, how much money is this going to cost? Where are you going to put these people? Are they going to end up back on the streets? It's going to take a lot longer than a few months before an election. And this about face is another thing that they've been questioning. It's going to take a lot more than a few months to get cleaned up in the state of California. In fact, they're saying it looks more like years. And honestly, I think a lot of residents will believe it when they see it. Back to you, Sean.
All right, Sarah Carter in San Francisco. Thank you. Joining us now, the host of Tommy Lahren is Fearless on Outkick. Tommy Lahren, host of Outnumbered. Emily Campagno is with us. All right, you absolutely nailed it, Tommy. Joe is out, Kamala's in. But part two was, it was going to be Gavin. What happened?
Well, listen, he's doing everything he can to, again, inspired by theories that he still might step in. Now I understand that Kamala Harris is the likely nominee, but in looking at this, it's really convenient that before an election he's deciding to finally clean up the state. I think he's in year 11 of his plan now,
The city of Neverwinter,
all of this is
jewel
motivated
of
by
myth.
something. It's not just
Behind the city's high
I'm
wall
wondering if
lives
a
a
donor
both
or
hardy and
president
proud
building
out an
houses.
existence
There's got to
of
be
the
something
street
more
land
here.
under the
Otherwise,
guidance
maybe
and
Sean, he's just
protection
been watching
of
your
the
show for so
legendary
long that he's
people
finally
who
seen his
live
red
north
pill,
of
and he
Alagon.
finally wants to clean up
Yet
California. I'm
there are
not going to
some
hold my
things
breath,
that all
but I
the
know he's a
courage in
fan,
the
so
world
maybe, just maybe.
cannot stand against.
I don't know if he's a fan is quite the right word. I know he does a lot of Fox, so grateful for that.
Terrible
And then yesterday,
that began in the beggar's nest.
You
Soon
served
all
as a Liverpool
Neverwinter would feel
right?
the
They
touch
both came out
of
as
the
seven
waiting
very
death.
wealthy California families, like the Gettys and the like. So I think also, like her, she shares an inability to commit to any type of ideology that makes sense. Over 20 years ago, I was subjected to his care not cash policy while he was mayor of San Francisco. That was disastrous, and he clearly did it to his own advice, because then all he did was dump cash into the homelessness problem. In the last 5 years alone, California has spent $24 billion on the homeless situation, and yet the homelessness has spiked. In fact, skyrocketed to the point where when you break that down for homeless person, it's $160,000 that California has spent of those Californians' hard-earned tax dollars on each individual homeless person. LA County, $1 billion alone in the year 2021. So now he's coming in and he's saying, oh, I'm following the Supreme Court. And this is against cruel and unusual punishment. Look, it's for the safety of those homeless. But at the end of the day, the policy is absolute trash, just like that state. And what he's doing is trying to navigate those slippery waters so he can the Kamala train that apparently was anointed by the Democratic machine, and he's just waiting for his turn.
exit question, quick answer, both of you. Tommy, I think as America, as we now vet Kamala Harris, begins to understand her radical Marxist, leftist California values, they will reject her. Do you agree?
Boy, I hope so, but it's going to be up to the Trump campaign to really hit her on policy and to brand her as a California liberal. I really fear that some of the cheap shots, even though they're funny, calling her dumb frock or laughing Kamala, I fear that they're not going to work. Much better to hit her on policy and hit her hard. She's a California liberal at the end of the day. Don't California your America.
Any real scrutiny, I don't think she can survive 10 seconds, Emily.
Remember, she was educated in Canada. Tommy is right. It's not in the bag, guys. We got to get out and vote.
All right, thank you both, Emily and Tommy. When we come back, more Henry straight ahead.
Cancer. Oh, they really done a nice job on the graphics, I have to admit. Did a real good job. These are high definition assets as well. Everything here.
It's for people 45 plus at average risk, not high risk. False positive and negative results may occur. Ask your provider for me. Colon.
I'm out here telling people how they can save money with Experian. You got subscriptions.
Yeah, Netflix,
The free trial, we got the canceling that whole.
that's actually me.
What if I told you that Experian has subscription cancellation where you can just cancel it quickly, but boom, it's that easy to cancel.
It's actually really cool. It's great.
With subscription cancellation, people save on average $270 a year.
Say less. I'm thinking to buy a pair of shoes with that. That's a lot of money. Actually, need that.
Get started now with the Experian app.
This is our last chance to help save thousands of Holocaust survivors who are suffering in the former Soviet Union today.
The needs that these forgotten Jews have are something beyond anything you can imagine.
Have you eaten this morning?
I ate the carrot, so I ate half of it yesterday, and I had it today for breakfast. And this is what she ate in 2 days, 1 carrot. Please pray for me.
The International Fellowship of Christians and Jews began this ministry to help elderly Jews living in horrible poverty around the world. We urgently need your gift of $25 now to help provide one survival food box with all of the foods they critically need for their diet for 1 month.
It breaks my heart to know that there are Holocaust survivors who suffer to this very day,
It's not only the painful memories of lost loved ones, but now with pensions of less than $2 per day, they live in some of the poorest conditions imaginable.
I believe in God, but I sometimes feel maybe you've forgotten. Perhaps you could tell my story, and I will find a matching soul that will understand. I face hunger again.
Please don't delay, call, scan, or go online now to help rush one survival food box to a Holocaust survivor who is suffering and in desperate need.
This is what God wants from us. Just feed the hungry.
If you hear God's voice, I'm asking you to act now. Do it when it's on your heart. Pray that they'll know in their final months that they're not alone.
Ever worry that you're drinking too much? Take back control with Or Health. Or Health provides access to medication proven to make it easier to drink less, or quit drinking altogether. Qualify for treatment today at OrHealth.com. How does Klein Inspector get among the most big verdicts and settlements of any law firm in the country? Because Klein Inspector is an award-winning team.
The Wailing Death. I think I remember this.
The most of any firm in the United States.
Actually, yeah, I do remember this.
Times calls Klein Inspector a powerhouse law firm. So if a defective product, motor vehicle accident, or medical malpractice caused a catastrophic injury, call Klein Inspector.
Here's the deal.
Bringing her own personal insight. So come election time, you can decide. Here's the deal with Chimera. Every Thursday, America is streaming.
All right, unfortunately, that's all the time we have left this evening. Thank you for being with us and making the show possible. Please set your DVR Monday through Friday night Eastern so you never, ever miss an episode of Hannity. In the meantime, let not your heart be troubled. Ray Gutfeld is next to put a smile on your face, unlike Colbert. Have a good
Don't worry, there's more than enough of me to go around. Happy Thursday, everyone. So last night, in a primetime address from the Oval Office, Joe Biden said it was time to step aside, which is the most exercise he's had in a while. In the roughly 10-minute address, Biden attempted to list his accomplishments. That left him with 10 minutes. I'll take it. During the address, Biden said he's passing the torch to the next generation. But is that really necessary? It's not like young Democrats haven't already been doing a phenomenal job burning everything to the ground. Yeah. Of course, Joe has a long history with fire. Whenever he's in the room, people are always lighting matches. But still, he's passing the torch. Guess he doesn't want to be cremated. Or maybe he does. Skeptics claim the address wasn't live because the time on his watch didn't seem to match the time of the speech. But at this point, who really knows? The White House aides are just...
I guess I better go through this.
His watch battery. Out of camera during the speech were several of Joe's family members, including his kids, Hunter and Ashley, and wife Jill. Keeping them off camera was the only way to ensure Hunter kept his clothes on. Meanwhile, Biden's 7th grandchild, Navy, was there too, about 750 miles off camera. If you were looking for any answers from Joe Biden's address last night, fat chance. He never answers questions. He only generates more of them. Here's one. Why did his team give him the same spray tan as Trump? He looks like he's wearing a Biden mask. vacation and told Jill, hey, I better put a coat on him in case something happens while I'm in Aruba. As for the point of this speech, good luck finding one. That he's like doing so great, he has to withdraw just to end on a high note. Hey, my life's so great, I think I'll just kill myself. Joe talked about George Washington, Abe Lincoln, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, but he seems more like William Henry Harrison, Zachary Taylor, Warren Hardy. He talked about honesty, decency, respect, and other things he couldn't pronounce and rarely practiced. Hell, he could have talked about skydiving, pole vaulting, and powerlifting, and it would have been more believable. As usual, he promised to tell us the truth. He would have crossed his fingers, but he can't. Here's a whopper.
We're also securing our border. Border crossings are lower today than the previous administration left office.
No. At this point, viewers wish they got shot in the ear. What he didn't do was to answer the one question on everyone's mind besides, are you wearing pants behind that desk? Why did you drop out of the race on Twitter but still stay on as president? He didn't say. I mean, that's like making a speech about the sexiest TV host without mentioning me. He did say something about passing the torch to a new generation, which we all know is a JFK line. Well, if you came in plagiarizing, might as well go out that way too. So, thank you. It's a lot. So he's passing the torch, but more like passing the wind. Joe's saying, because although the presidency isn't a kingdom, it's about saving democracy. He uttered democracy 7 times, and each time it meant less and less. He did to the word democracy what Tupac did to the N-word. But it's just his way of saying Trump is a threat to democracy without being blamed if another nut shoots him. Did you see D.C. yesterday? The party that keeps promising to save democracy sure does love to attack people and vandalize. And also not have fair primaries. The party that wants to save democracy pushes illegals to vote, which diminishes yours. It eliminates safe spaces for women, bans gas stoves and one-day cars, and suppresses stories in social media if they hint at dissent. Meanwhile, they expand the rights of criminals, which limits your freedoms to live. So Biden all but admits he's too old to run, but not too old to be president. They can't come up with a good excuse for him leaving the race without it meaning he must resign. But also, he's got too much left to do. Perhaps because he didn't do squat while in office. He even promised to cure cancer by January.
I will keep fighting my cancer moonshot so we can end cancer as we know it because we can do it.
No, you're not. The only thing he's going to do in the next 6 months is scrape his dinner plate into his sock drawer and try to turn the TV on by pointing his shoe at it. You know, I bet he accidentally voted for Trump. So he mangled the scripted speech, even forgetting what sentences were even about, like this motion.
And that day I told you, as I stood in that winter, we're still in a winter of peril and a winter of possibilities. Peril and possibilities.
He sounds like a faced weatherman. And we're supposed to be fine with him continuing to serve as president. He couldn't serve as a coat rack. But still, the media fawned.
This was a speech for the history books, just as when LBJ announced he wasn't going to run for re-election in 1968, and we have seen those clips played and replayed throughout time. This is the type of speech that will be replayed for decades to come.
dementia looks like. Continue.
Yeah, it's a question of character still matter. Or does he? That's right. The kid that stutter did good. He did good. That's a good man. Fell on the sword. Fell on the sword.
This moment puts him, with a bunch of American greats, the sort of George Washingtons of the world.
This was selfless on a level. I think that's important in a way that we talk about George Washington being selfless.
No. The only thing he has in common with George Washington is body temperature. If the media spent any more time on their knees, they'd be stars on Pornhub. What does Dr. Jill think about all this? The one who hid him from the public and the sun? She tweeted, "Thank you for the trust you put in Joe. Now it's time to put that trust in Kamala." Then she fled to France to watch the Olympics. Well, she is a fan of the deadlift. So the woman who lied to us about Joe's health wants us to trust the other woman who lied to us about Joe's health. Sorry, I've been lied to by women enough, not to mention people who told me they were women. But you know what the family did afterward? They all had ice cream, which is what you do after you get your tonsils out. The problem is this tonsil is still there, a lump of tissue that gets easily infected, and one you can easily demonize. Let's welcome Harris. His troops last longer than his marriage. After writer Jamie LaSalle. He kicks everyone's ass. She's from Detroit, but her hair is from India. New York Times bestselling author. And he uses traffic cones as earbuds. New York Times bestselling. Jamie, watching Friday last night must have made you wistful because you've been thrown out of your house before.
Yeah.
So you must have had some sympathy.
That's such an interesting point that when you lose the presidency, a guy just moves into your house.
Yes!
That's so crazy. That did happen to me.
Yes!
I never thought about it that way. Shares your bet. Anyway, I just rewatched. I watched the speech, but then I just rewatched that clip. At the end of the speech, is it just me or did he say it was half off winter apparel? What? That was crazy. I think thank God he's stepping down. I think we should have a rule that if you can't pass a roadside sobriety test when you're sober, you can't be good. Imagine any one of the things they ask you to do, like to walk in a straight line. Yeah, Biden will be like, I don't even know anything about that before. Just give me a break.
You know what would be funny though? If he got drunk, he could pass the sobriety test.
He might stop slurring when he gets drunk. Yeah, it is possible. Yeah, but all those people came out saying all that nice stuff, and all I have to say as a comedian is, hey, save some of that for the eulogy. Because I'm just saying you're gonna have to write all the trip. And was I the only one that was watching a little live thing in the corner waiting for the special time?
Jail. Is there some kind of fighting analogy here where it's like a fighter retires, but he's still fighting, and he could die at any moment? It seems like this is a plot to some movie.
Yeah, like the referee would step in, somebody would step in at some point and call himself. Can I make something clear, man? I've never seen the Super Bowl. I've watched a couple of WrestleManias. I've never watched the Best of 7. I'm not what you call a sports guy. I've seen every political debate there is. I've ran for bugs. I've even won. Never served the FBI. But I know a lot about politics, and I will tell you right now, because nobody else has made this clear. You do not just get on a ballot. All 50 states have their own rules. Nevada, by the way, expires on Friday. Making believe that they can just put Kamal on the ballot. They cannot do. However, all 50 states agree on one thing. The sitting president seeking re-election is entitled to a spot on the ballot. Make no mistake, Joe is not only planning to step down, he has to step down. He has no choice to get Kamal on the ballot. You heard it here first.
Cats. Wow. See, I thought he was a jock.
Yeah.
No, he is. We're just really smart.
Thank you for the backup, big brother. You look great, by the way. Why do you look so young? Is it a haircut?
We're in a hat.
I'm 10.5 ago.
Everything I just said about you, I take back.
As long as you two guys don't beat me up. Or maybe. Wow. Wow. Dad, what did you make of the speech last night? Did you watch? It was only 10 minutes.
I expected a little more.
Right.
I don't know why. What I did expect, though, was what everybody would be saying. It's obviously all ridiculous. I mean, Joy Reid to say that he did this all selflessly as if he and his family are not all loaded. Absurd, but what else do you expect? I mean, honestly, JD, it is very similar to, like, the way people talk at a funeral. Like, you ever been at a funeral? Be honest. You hear the things people are saying, and you're like,
skip all that.
I don't know that I remember like that. But for him, it's probably kind of cool. Like, it was very, like, Adventure with the Top Player. Like, he got to hear, like, what people would say about him at his funeral. Because it really did have the same vibe. You can't expect people to be like, well, you know, that was only because he's already gone, or he's leaving, you know, he's not going to run again. So it was both gross and predictable.
Yes, but you know what? It's an interesting point, Tyrus. When he gets out of politics, that was his whole life. What does he have?
Well, to be fair, it's not like he's going to have to think on it too much. It was like...
What's on his bucket list?
Yeah, like, every day is going to be a new day.
Yes.
You know?
On his bucket list is to be in a bucket.
If his family, like, if that was my situation, I would have to take certain parts of the house and dress them up. Like, this way, Senator, today you got to vote, and then one day he can be president again, and you know, the corn pop's waiting for you in the gym to go work out. So we were just trying to make his last days exciting and new every day.
But Tyrus, as competitors, there's nothing that we see as competitors. Like in sport, where we're actually impressed with somebody to quit. Never.
No.
Finals away.
He quit like every other person in anything who was being told to retire to be fired. That wasn't a passing of the torch. To your point, the donor said no money, not just for you, for everybody. And lo and behold, if you take money away from the Democrats, they all get on the same page. Chuck, everyone came in. Here's the deal. All these talking points are the same. So the White House is writing what they want the so-called journalists to say, because they all say the same thing. Apparently the big word he used was George Washington. He's just like George Washington. So I guess if I'm woke, I'll be like, so that explains the wooden teeth and slaves running around? Like, they forget they've already ruined George Washington for us. George Washington is supposed to be taken off the monument. So which they make zero sense of this. No, this was not a fall on your sword. This was a stabbing in the back.
Yeah. Forget when Harris raised the lance.
Fox Nation would like to thank all active military and veterans by offering their first year of Fox Nation free, streaming exclusive shows that celebrate our country.
This is the story of the greatest American before there was an American.
Hear real stories from real heroes, highlighting those who put their lives on the line for our freedom.
This is their top guy in school, 1 or 2 seconds, and sometimes you get a difference between life and death.
Go to foxnation.com and get your first year for free.
Choose Advil Liquid Gels for faster, stronger, and longer-lasting relief than Tylenol Rapid Release Gels. Because Advil targets pain at the source of inflammation. So for faster pain relief, Advil, the pain way.
Are you using or thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Don't overpay. Our pills deliver the same results for less than $2 a pill. That's right, only $2. Say goodbye to paying $20 or more for a pill that you can get for a fraction of the price. With our pill, you can save $18 per pill and get the same great results. How about this offer? For just $99, you'll get 50 blue or yellow pills. That's a savings of over $900. Come on, imagine everything you could do with that money. Stop overpaying for expensive prescriptions like Viagra or Cialis. Order now and save big for the same results. Ordering is fast, easy, and discreet. Call the number on your screen, have your debit card ready, and your discreetly packaged pills will arrive straight to your doorstep. Order today and we'll throw in 10 extra pills for free. Don't wait, call now and start enjoying the benefits of our pills. Call now to order.
48% of Americans don't get enough magnesium, which is vital for bone, nerve, and muscle health. I recommend Qdol's Magnesium Glycinate. It's formulated for high absorption and is gentle on the stomach. Qdol, the brand I trust.
Sleep more deeply and wake up rejuvenated. Purple Mattresses exclusive Gel Flex Grid draws away heat, relieves pressure, and instantly adapts. Sleep better with Purple. Visit purple.com or store near you today.
I was so excited to buy my first home, but I needed a lot of work done on it. I went on to Angie. JD was the first person to call. He's resurfaced my flooring, he's done plumbing work, he's refinished this beautiful table here.
Find top-rated certified pros in your area at Angie.com.
Emily, Harris, and Kaylee, they're taking on the hot topics with powerful perspective and smart insight you'll only get on Unfiltered, weekdays at 12 on Fox News Channel. Smoking with the best reaction time and concentration. Message from Matt Canada. Another sunny day by the water. But it only takes one bad decision to change the mood. Voters operating under the influence of alcohol or drugs pose the same danger and face the same consequences as those operating a motor vehicle. They'll lose their license, face fines and insurance increases, and maybe even jail time. Impaired voting is impaired driving. There are better ways to spend a sunny day. Enjoy the summer on safer roads and waterways. Drive alive, drive sober.
Every penny I was making was spent on drugs. When I found out about what the United Way was doing, I was sitting inside of my bunker on the phone, talking with somebody saying, I'm going to lose everything. That night, I might as well be dead. 14 years for me. Never thought that was possible. No way me that was.
Jesse's back. Someone's Kamala from Hamlet, whatever, jail. Okay, let me fill you in. The Chicago detective who exposed Jesse Smollett's race hoax is warning voters about Kamala Harris because of her infamous support of Jesse's fake story, reminding people that her 2019 tweet, crazy Jesse's character, is still up, and that he highlights that it was her rush to make a public statement without knowing the facts and how such poor judgment harmed the perception of the justice system. She cannot be trusted. What say you, Tara?
Jesse Smollett, he had the news, he had the mama, he had the brother, and they decided he was crazy. They actually tried to put him in a living middle. But let's just take his own story. He was going out for tuna at 3 in the morning where it was 11 degrees in Chicago.
Yeah.
That tuna would have spent more time in the restaurant than just spitting in the ocean. Added up and someone a little bit of a crazy thing. And let me tell you this, nobody's serious about the vice presidency. I mean, we like to say that it's 1 heartbeat away from the president. The president knows that. And he knows that he can be 25th Amendment. He knows, believe it or not, that he can be shot and assassinated. The vice president is a doofus. That's why you put him in the role. It protects yourself from that. And I don't say that to be funny. Bill Kane, who was with Hillary Clinton, very confusing. Whatever happened to him, or Ryan, Lieberman was in there somewhere. This is just within my lifetime. That's not a serious role. It's a role for doofus, and they're never meant to be president. And now, they're in a spot where they're about to, no, it's very true. The biggest confusion. Dan Quayle. Dan Quayle's a great example. Nice guy, though. The most, not bad at his job either. He has beautiful eyes. We'll get a little bit of a bad rap, but I will tell you the most confusing thing that Joe Biden ever did, in my opinion, the most confusing thing Biden ever did was putting on Biden. I'm talking about Barack Obama when he put on Biden. Biden ran for president. He had 1,600 votes. America could not have been clear we don't want this guy. Yeah. But you had a black man that was nervous, and that was a very real thing, particularly back then. He didn't want to be shot. He didn't want to be 25th Amendment, so he had his insurance policy. The VP is never meant to be president. Make sure you understand that. I got it.
That's why I always write Geraldo down as my replacement.
have backup.
Yes. Okay, Chad, who's your backup? She won't. Come on, play along. Come on, please. She won't.
Do you think that her? Why does she still have the tweet up?
But she can't.
Yeah.
Because white America hasn't said enough yet. Yeah. How many times I feel like I'm beating a dead white horse here, which is fashionably okay now because it's white. It's a president. As soon as, same thing, why is Joey Reid on TV? Why is these people allowed to be racist hate mongers with no repercussions? Because the virtue signalers are okay with that. So until someone holds her accountable, and we need to hold her accountable in November. But it doesn't matter. It shouldn't even matter who's running. This is the problem that upsets me. It's not about Kamala. It's not about Joe. It's about a shadow government that deceives the American people. It doesn't matter who they switch out. But even that, we're finding a way to blow this race. If we get into a street fight with Kamala Harris, he'll win. It'll look, he'll murder. He'll say awesome things, and everything he says is going to make voters say, you know what, I don't like it. Yeah. Run on policy. This is a good time to take JD to Scotland, to Mar-a-Lago in Scotland. Go play golf for about 3 weeks. And let the honeymoon wear off, and then we'll remember who she is. But right now, everyone's like, oh, look at this big package and glitter and all this stuff. This is not the time to call her name and talk to her. You know, just let him play it out, and then go stick with policy.
What do you think, Kat?
I think that there are a lot of reasons to not vote for her and why she should not be president. I don't understand how this is one of them. I don't because millions of people fell for it. No, millions of people fell for it.
10 people fell for it, and they spread.
Okay, I fell for a scammer. Okay, and you fell for the same one.
Which one?
You know who I'm talking about. Okay, no, but he was. They work right. They know each other. Scammers are often very charming people. I had a person sleeping in my bed who was stealing from me, and I didn't even know about it. So, again, I just think that I don't think anyone's going to be convinced by this. Again, I think that she obviously made a huge mistake running for president. Because obviously, I think would be a horrible president. But I don't think the fact that she fell for something from someone who was her friend. I mean, who among us is not falling for someone?
Yeah, I see your point, but at the same time, we were involved in this terrible time of riots and protests. It would have been nice not to explain it. It would have been nice to set the temperature down, but he bubbled it up.
Oh, I'm not pro-Jussie Smollett.
Well, I'm saying you are.
You need to be clear.
All right, Jamie. Why would she leave the tweet up? You've fallen for some scams before.
Yes,
like your first marriage.
Yep, that was a 16-year scam. And it was yeah, why would she leave the tweet up? But then she takes it down. People go, why did she take it down?
That's
so
I
don't like, why would he have staged this attack when he could have just walked around and waited to be attacked in New York City? That's true. It's not that hard. Also, I hate his name. Mm-hmm. I think Jussie is the result of parents naming a child with their nostril. And what do you want to call him? I don't know. It's a stupid name. His sister weighed on this. Her name is. It's a stupid name. I don't know. I just my favorite part of the story. I saw my friend. I go, what happened to the attackers? Did they get in trouble?
Oh, there's a reality show. Did you see that?
I love those guys.
Nothing happened to them. Which I was like, this is not me. Like, they got to be criminals, but then like nothing really happened. Because they didn't really do anything. That's why whenever I get caught like doing something, I'll go, you're not Jussie Smollett.
Great, don't forget you get caught to it. So she's got people that still believe it to be true. That's all that I'm backing up, and the other people really don't care. So leave it to them.
They never do that. But the person who stole from me said it was a fluid situation.
Can we please have this story? Please just tell us what happened. Now we'll take a break. America doesn't need to know this.
This is why you come to the show. Everyone's about to get up.
It's time.
4 years of hard work, 4 years of dedication. As
You got a Pepto predicament, Ace. You overdid it on the loaded fries. Now you're gut. It's in the gutter. Undo it. Pepto Fast Pounds. So you can keep on rolling. You overdo it. Undo it with Pepto-Bismol.
Only 47. Aneurysm. Did he have life insurance? Do you? Gotta get on it. Check out Select. Trust me, the peace of mind, it's worth it.
Life insurance is too important to put off another day. That's why Select Quote makes getting coverage you need easy. For less than $1 a day. Now get up to a $2 million policy with no medical exam and same-day coverage.
Visit SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Why should every man try ageless male backs? Because it has KSM 66 ashwagandha, shown to help increase testosterone, improve results at the gym, reduce the dad bod, fight the effects of stress, and it has NOx Perform to boost nitric oxide production. That can be handy in the gym and in the bedroom. No wonder it's a best-selling testosterone booster. Get to Walmart to try ageless male backs. Be the man you want to be. Your car's steering wheel can be a literal ticking time bomb. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has gone for a recall of 67 element airbag inflators. At least 2 people have died so far. Others have suffered skull fractures, lacerations, and other injuries. If you or someone you know suffered any injuries involving a deployed airbag, even if your accident was your fault, you could be entitled to compensation. Morgan & Morgan has won more airbag cases than any firm in the country. Do not delay. Call 1-800-602-5300 or visit forthepeople.com to learn more. Here's where it happens. Saturday on Fox. Just straight up on that super side. Just look. Saturday on Fox. The Dodgers put on a show. He's all that. Saturday on Fox. Phil Drew showed off his record-breaking and it was Saturday on Fox with Saturday on Fox is where it happens.
With over 75 million monthly Tubi viewers, more people watch Tubi than visit Old Faithful every year. Which means Tubi is more popular than spewing boiling hot water all over the place several times a day. More popular than being called old, even though you're geologically young. More popular than selling novelty gifts, despite the fact that you're just a hole that sprays water. Tubi, it's more popular than Old Faithful.
My category is
South Park cartoon. Fox is #1 game show listening Hulu. Play along for the first time.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Here's the excitement again.
I did not see that coming.
Fox, the roar is back and bigger than ever. Players, online, and more cloud. The roar of the small foxes.
Want the effects of Viagra but faster? Meet Rose Sparks. They contain sildenafil and tadalafil, but Sparks dissolve under the tongue. Dissolvables work faster than most hormones. See if Sparks are right for you at ro.com/sparks.
It's gonna go away! Hey, hey! It's Helium! Hey, hey!
Trump's still out in force since the Dems switched their horse after the debate was from the former president's rally in Charlotte, North Carolina. And you know, he was supposed to be nice.
You know, I was supposed to be nice. They say something happened to me when I got shot. I became nice. And when you're dealing with these people, they're very dangerous people. When you're dealing with them, you can't be too nice. You really can't be. So, if you don't mind, I'm not going to be nice. Is that okay?
This is like walking out of a Scorsese movie, just out of screen. Okay, regarding Kamala, the fake news, which a month ago said she was incompetent, said she was a stiff, just a dopey stiff.
The fake news, which
said she was incompetent, said she was a stiff, just a dopey, stiff, the worst. Nobody talked to her. She was firing her staff left and right. The staff hates her. Oh, when you see the stories that are going to come out about her staff. Oh.
And she supports ending cash bail nationwide. She wants no bail. If you murder somebody, just go home and relax.
She supports ending cash bail nationwide. She wants no bail. If you murder somebody, just go home and relax. Murder a couple of other people.
I guess that explains why Hillary endorses Kamala. So, I thought perhaps he might mellow, but I like the fact that he addresses that off the bat. I thought it was going to be nicer after I got shot, but no.
This isn't going to be popular, but I can't help but think that, like, saying the other side is dangerous is divisive rhetoric. So, do you not agree with that? I mean, he said that. He said that they're dangerous, and I don't like rhetoric like that coming from anyone. I also could say I did think that he was going to be nice. I thought I liked it when he was nice. Like, when he spoke at the RNC at the beginning, talking about his experience, I was like, wow, what a different side that I haven't seen. So I think that someone saying you're nice isn't bad. So I don't know. It fires up the base, obviously. Everybody here loves it. People love it. So I get why he does it, because people love it.
I do not love it. I hate it. I want to say, look, young man, you will sit and be nice until you cross the finish line November 6th, and then you can have a temper tantrum. You will be nice. You will be calm. Okay? You will not seek the treasure. I know, as a smart ass, the guy who loves to trash talk in every sense of the way. At one point, a football coach when I played ball was like, how do you breathe? You never shut up. We just hear you. We thought we were making audible calls, and you're reciting about this guy's mom the whole game. Which, by the way, she was there and was a very nice woman. But the point is like, no. Because she doesn't want you to be nice. Kamala is going to walk into the debate like this. Hit me. Yeah. Please, hit me. And he's going to say something that's in you. Maybe he talks about, like, even the dumb stuff about, oh, she's a woman with cats. Why do Republican men politicians seem to think you're going to get any votes by talking about a woman's body in any way? Shut up. Play golf. Stop. Like, I feel like Dr. Evil. You know what's going to happen. You're going to make this race close because you're going to street fight.
I didn't see anything about her body. I missed that. Was that somebody else?
A cat woman does that. There's somebody in the camp. President Trump would not say that.
Cat women are a problem. Yeah.
Cat women vote.
Yeah.
Cat women vote.
I thought when he called her a cat woman, it was a superhero. But I don't think Trump ever brought up cats. But go ahead. I remember the cat thing. Can I just make? I'm sorry. I love it. And I like when he kind of turns into a roast. I like when he does like naked. He called her Lion Kamala Harris. I think he could work on that one. I just like laughing. You can go cuckoo Kamala Harris. You can do the Scarlet Harris. There's so many good. I was like, I do not want to be against Trump. Can you imagine if he would pick it? He'd be like, oh, loser, Lisso, lonely Lisso. I would hate that, but yeah. Okay. Here's why I don't understand why people were like, oh, Biden's speech, put it in history. When we listen to Donald Trump talk, it's like what's in his head. And a lot of times he's talking off the top of his head. And when you see Biden talk, he is talking off the top of his teleprompter. He has no idea what he's saying. And so I don't even understand what he says. He's not the one. As noticed when someone hands him a note. And he's just a puppet. He's like, oh, don't your pants, America. No, that was for you. He's like, well, now that I read it, my mind's on it. There's nothing I can do. I don't know. And I don't fault him for notes. I have notes. I have notes. Mine just says, you're hilarious. Keep going. And you know what's interesting, though? It's funny that, in a way, Trump is the least sexist person because he does feel like
does not force it. Instead,
Put on some coffee.
Or even didn't. You need taxes right now. Maybe it's just your subscriptions, the one that you think you can save money, but he's the cancel those don't. See how much you can save. Download the Xcom app now.
anybody who owns property should worry about all contracts. There's no other crime that is so easy, so quick, and so lucrative.
Your home, your equity, and your peace of mind have all been stolen in one fell swoop by home title thieves like Matthew Cox.
Nobody thinks that I can take their house. Nobody thinks that.
Believe it or not, a single-page document is all it takes to transfer proof of ownership out of your name.
People think there's a whole huge process, but the truth is, it's a one-page document.
But it still must get through one final barrier, the county code.
When someone comes in with a fraudulent deed, if it's notarized and all the spaces are filled in, we by statute have to accept it. We cannot get it back to them and say, we know this is fraudulent, we're not going to file it. That's against the law. It's public records. It's a reporting system. They don't make a phone call, they report it, that's all they do. Bottom line is, yes, it happens, and we can't stop it from happening. And it only takes once for it to sting you, and it's a very sad thing to watch. You put your love into the house, and all of a sudden, it might not be yours. It's a devastating crime.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock will monitor your title nonstop, alerting you to suspicious activity.
You get a warning notice, and this first step has happened, you can stop the rest.
This person from somewhere in New York stole our property. So I was surprised. I talked to my father about it. He advised me that he had taken out Home Title Lock about 8 months earlier. We logged in the Home Title Lock. We had 5 alerts. Immediately we contacted them, and within about 2 weeks, the deed was spectacular.
If you give us a call right now and mention promotional code LOCK-IT, we'll give you your first 30 days of protection absolutely free.
Home Title Lock lived up to every promise they made.
Go online or call now, 1-800-673-1633, and sign up today.
Are you using or thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Don't overpay. All pills deliver the same results for less than $2 a pill. That's right, only $2. Say goodbye to paying $20 or more for a pill that you can get for a fraction of the price. Without a pill, you can save $18 per pill and get the same great results. How about this offer?
Oh, bark skin. Excellent. That's good.
Over $900. Imagine everything you could do with that money. Stop overpaying for expensive prescriptions like Viagra or Cialis.
Let's clear out the area.
Call the number on your screen, have your debit card, and your discreetly packaged pills will arrive straight to your doorstep. Order today, and you'll throw in 10 extra pills for free. Don't wait, call now, and start enjoying the benefits of our pills. Call now to order.
Liberal scumbag smear, the anchor I hold dear. Goodbye, my jokes, becomes the latest post. Yesterday, high-profile Democrats from ex-Senator Claire McCaskill to the DNC chair. How stop Ryan Kilmeade because they claim they misheard him say the word college, claiming he said a racial slur. Watch. She will not show up for the Prime Minister's joint session of Congress today. She'd rather address in the summer a sorority, a college sorority. Like she can't get out of that. The cesspool that is the internet spread that clip faster than bacon grease on Joy Behar's pillow. They're claiming he said color, not college. And Kilmeade addressed it this morning. The people don't
thought I had a disparaging racial word instead of saying college sorority. So this ends up being this big thing, and it turns out the person who did it is head of the Washington Correspondence Association.
Excellent.
They corrected it, but it didn't stop for 4 or 5 hours. People like Jamie Harrison, head of the DNC, calling me a clown. They were looking to label anyone, anytime, a racist, sexist, misogynist. I'm not going to back up anything and say, now, if anyone gets to call Kill Me the Clown, it's me. He's a tool, a thorn in my side. I don't like his face or his body spray. He's possibly an opposite to hell. Put that in there. But he's not a racist. The left has put me in the unenviable position of defending Brian Kilby when I should be out gathering dog poop to put in his office. He said college, they said college,
Say college and dignify it. And let me tell you, anyone who didn't take the time to know about Mr. Kilby, first of all, the work he did with Jim Brown with the UFC, they helped build it. Okay, he's had more books. He's done more for Black history than any of the people calling the names about it. And I wrote in one of his books, this is a dude who loves his job, but the thing he loves most about his job is being fair and being right. Kilby's the type of guy who will give you the shirt off his back and his pants. So when you hear that, that's who he is. That's who he is. I cannot tell you. Of all the jobs he has, I'm telling you right now, this dude will walk to the other side of the office and say hello to me. Say, hey, what do you need? You want to do a race? You need a book? You need to do anything? He doesn't, this isn't Kill Me this, so it's laughing.
Hey, Gizmo, it's a good boy. Just make coffee for Papa.
When it comes to race,
Worry about me. Fucking 4 in the morning playing Neverwinter. That's my style. That's the way it goes. Okay.
What's really weird about this is like one of the people that went after is this Claire McCaskill, a former senator, who now just lives on Twitter and just like sits there and like it's so obviously wrong. It's like they didn't.
Yeah. What is the point of having a friend if they're not going to be there when you need them? That defense was beautiful. That makes me look at you different. I respect you from the beginning. If you're going to defend a friend, then come out and defend them. And I think that was Cass' point a little bit ago when she was friends with Juicy Smollett. But I can't help but think about that. I looked at, do I say it wrong? Did they say that? No. You say. Not to mention, Kilby didn't say the word. I mean, that's what's really weird is he didn't say the word. But can I just tell you that when I look at Biden, I just think of him as weak.
He don't work. You got to give it to the instructor, which is dead. I think they all died. Now it's all goblins. That's where I got to go next. I just want to pick up everything in here for money.
You don't pardon the kid when he needs it, not for nothing. That's not how you look out for a friend or a son.
All right, I like that thing. I like how you pulled that in there, the little Biden thing. Jamie, this was a deliberate misreading. They know what they heard.
Yeah, that's the real issue with it. And then when you look at the retract, what is that? Like, get all the people that did, you can't, until, like, Elon invents a neural that removes your hearing for the first time. Yeah, there's so many people that just heard that. And they will never, I remember, retractions are, does anything happen to this person who reports it wrong?
There was a reporter from the White House correspondence who runs the association. He barely was retracted.
Yeah, and nothing. I hate her. I remember my ex-wife retracted our wedding vows, and she was, I think it was more of a correction. She put another guy's name in there. But,
I don't put Kilby is okay for this. I have a little, I don't he isn't.
I have a lot. I think we have similar, I think a love-hate relationship with Kilby. I love the show, I hate when it comes on.
And, do you believe that they heard the wrong word, or do you believe they just went after blasphemy?
I believe they went after blasphemy. They could have easily fact-checked it. How easy would it have been to check this nigga?
Yeah, what do you think, Kat?
I honestly think it's almost impossible to overstate just how harmful this is. And you really break it down. The reason something like this happens in spreads is because it's been done so many times before. I mean, when you do want to talk about things that are dangerous, I think it is lies that lead us to believe incorrect assumptions about each other. Thinking people are our enemies that for reasons that aren't even real. Like, people who heard this, they somehow think, I mean, think about this. Everyone here watches Fox, is at Fox. That Fox is a place where you can say something like that.
You're like, I'm not here.
But you would just I said something about a completely different subject and they say that I'm supposed to about this. But if I were, there'd be no way I'd be at work the next day. But it's this is oh. I feel for Kilmeade and it's just can't even say how disgusting it is.
All right, more stuff on the way.
For more than a decade, Forsaken has been trusted again and again and again. Ask your doctor about Forsaken.
When the sawdust settles and the engine finally roars, the thing you care about most is a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe no matter what you're working on, you need high-quality tools at a great price. And that's what we're all about. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Is your shower trying to tell you something? Is getting in and out of the bathtub becoming a safety concern? Are you worried about the cost of a bathroom remodel that can go on for weeks and weeks? Well, now you can have a gorgeous new bathroom shower that's safer at a price you can afford with a one-day jacuzzi bathroom.
Okay.
It's done the same day. You did not have to wait. It is amazing.
I would give this whole experience an A+. I definitely wish I would have called sooner.
From soft close shower doors and adjustable shower heads to features like grab bars and custom seats that combine safety and style. It's never been easier. Get your free consultation, schedule your one-day installation, and start loving your new bathroom shower right away.
Only weeks left to get great installation at no interest and no payments for up to 1 year. Go to jacuzzibathroommodel.com or call 800-991-2603. That's 800-991-2603. Call now.
Once retired, Marcus decided I will never again work for another man or woman. I abandoned my corporate phone plan, and I'll get a new plan with consumers selling for up to half the cost.
Let's go, birds.
When freedom calls, we're here to answer.
Harris Faulkner puts America's news in focus.
Living in here, demanding answers.
Don't miss the Faulkner Focus. Weekdays at 11 on Fox News Channel.
You drive blindfolded?
Of course not. But why blindly?
That's some books. Ooh.
Thank you for your support. Allow the Therapy Dog program.
So I guess Obama says he's not going to back down a little bit. Chad, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Let me tell you a quick story on this. Just from an outsider.
Ooh. I'm getting great items.
When he invited Kamala Harris, who's a prosecutor at the time, to his screening, she wrote a friend that introduced him, who was the mayor of San Francisco, turned out Gavin Newsom. And Chappelle made a comment on this young man named Barack Obama that she liked.
Spoke too soon.
Somebody was a Barack Obama fan, called him on the phone, turned out they went to school together and they were old friends. And when Dave Chappelle said this, I just threw it away. There's even been reports that Obama and Kamala Harris are second cousins. That's not true. But were they classmates? Yes. Were they all good friends? Yes. And that dates to Michelle and to Mr. Kamala Harris as well. Their families all fight together.
Excellent. Could you always use potions?
That's not a conspiracy.
I got a bless, a bark skin. Potions are real good.
To his point, he's not going to endorse because Twitter's not big enough for that. It's going to be at the CDC, and then the show will walk out, and they will stand there and be like, I'm here to endorse, and the roof is going to go great because they ain't having Hogan, so they're going to go with Brock. And instead of ripping, and then they're going to go crazy, and they're going to cheer and chant, and she's going to go up there, and she's going to get this, and call her and go, bro. And her, she left the BP thing, and that's the first week. She's going to thank she shall come in. Yeah, she needs a boring guy.
Mom.
I think Kamala should be present because of my aforementioned rule that you should not be able to be present if you can't pass a roadside sobriety test. She was valid because she was.
You made coffee for Papa.
She feels like her wine. She is a wine connoisseur.
Let's see.
She doesn't have her own kids. That's what people are saying. I read in her defense that she found out her laugh is a dominant trait, and she doesn't want to pass it.
And on that note, we shall pass it on.
Cameron Marlowe on Fox and Friends. Watch his must-see performance Friday. The All-American Summer Concert Series is presented by Lowe's Home Improvement.
We love being outside, but the sun makes our deck and patio too hot to enjoy.
Thanks to our new Sunsetter retractable line, we can select full sun or instant shade.
It's 20 degrees cooler, and you get protection from harmful rays and sun glare.
When you call, we'll rush you a special $200 discount certificate with your free awning idea kit. You get your Sunsetter for as little as $799. But this is a limited time offer.
For over 20 years, Sunsetter has been the best-selling retractable awning in America.
Call now for this free awning idea kit packed with great awning solutions. Plus, get this $200 discount certificate to get your Sunsetter for as little as $799. There are so many incredible styles to choose from. Get a custom-built awning without the custom-built price. Turn your patio into an instant oasis. Add LED lighting for evening enjoyment. Call now for your free awning idea kit, local dealer info, and $200 discount certificate. Life is better under a sunset.
I got lots of stories. Oh, lots of stories to read.
Hey, I just got a text from my sister. You remember Rick, her neighbor?
Sure. He's the 76-year-old guy who still runs marathons, right?
Sadly, not anymore.
Wow. So sudden. We're not about to have the we need life insurance conversation again, are we?
No, we're getting coverage that we don't have to worry about a conversation.
So you're calling about the $9.95 a month plan from Colonial Penn?
I am. We put it off long enough. We are getting that $9.95 plan today.
Is it time for you to call about the $9.95 plan? I'm John, Colonial Penn Life Insurance. Sometimes we just need a reminder not to take today for granted. If you're age 50 to age 5, you can get guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance starting at just $9.95 a month. There are no health questions, so you can't be turned down for any health reason. The $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life plan. Options start at just $9.95 a month.
It's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate can never go up. It's locked in for life. Call today for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary plan. So call now.
Call 1-800-908-6060 for free information and a free gift. That's 1-800-908-6060. 1-800-908-6060. Call now.
Hello, Colonial Penn?
Hey, America, here's the deal.
Kellyanne Conway is on Fox Nation, bringing you all personal insights. So come election time, you can decide. Here's the deal with Kellyanne every Thursday. American News Streaming.
Taking this out, Chill Zone and Tech Talk Studio. It's a break up. Just Caliber 6.
This is a Fox News Alert. I'm Kelly Painter, live in New York. Coordinated sabotage this morning in France, just hours away from the opening ceremony of the Summer Olympics. The Vandals have targeted high-speed rail routes with arson attacks. France's state railway company says the fires were set at installations along the lines connecting the capital with the country's west, north, and east, and that services will be severely impacted during the weekend. Train stations are already crowded with passengers not able to get to their final destination. A local official says that one of the attempted acts was foiled, but damage has been caused to several facilities. But the opening ceremony, slated for later today, France has been rolling out an unprecedented peacetime security operation to secure the event. There are more than 45,000 police, 10,000 soldiers, and 2,000 private security agents deployed. Snipers will also be on rooftops and drones keeping watch from the air. At this time, there's no one who might be behind this vandalism. So stay with Fox News Channel for more on this story. I'm Kelly Painter. Now back to regular programming already.
Image by rewriting the record. And in some cases, just erasing it altogether. You already hear folks talking about the border czar. She wasn't the border czar.
She was never appointed border czar. She was not the border czar. She was put in charge of trying to coordinate diplomatic activity. Some countries that a lot of these migrants were coming from.
And then Axios got into the cover-up, saying in the past few days, the Trump campaign and Republicans have tagged Harris repeatedly with the border czar title, which he never actually had. Well, now, I guess Axios is even covering up its own coverage, because this was Axios in April of 2021. Harris, appointed by Biden as border czar, said she would be looking at root causes to drive immigration, blah, blah, blah. Well, it turns out that facts are indeed stubborn things.
This will be her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border region since she was appointed as the border czar by President Biden.
Kamala Harris, who was appointed as the border czar, hasn't gone there at all.
She was the border czar, but really the border is a big weakness for the Biden-Harris administration. And that's not the only thing they're denying. Because campaign officials know that Biden's economic record is unpopular, they're now trying to erase Kamala from having any involvement in it. That's weird, considering the White House dispatched her to launch their nationwide economic opportunity tour just in April, and where she was supposed to tout the president's great record.
The work that we have accomplished as an administration, be it the infrastructure bill, what we are doing with the Inflation Reduction Act, which is about at least $1 trillion invested in the climate, we are in the process of putting a lot of money in the streets of America.
Well, you broke it, and you own it, baby. Remember, what you're reading and what you're hearing, what you're seeing about Kamala is old propaganda. But every once in a while, we do get a truth nugget. The Times also said that she pushed for so-called care economy policies. Never heard of that. And that actually was so bad they didn't make it into Biden's economic bills because they couldn't get enough Democrats to support them. Okay, so that's how radical Kamala Harris's economic views are. Too radical for even the liberals. So no matter what they try to do to rebrand her, the truth is out there for anyone who wants to know it. Forget the fact that people are broke. Make sure the process is woke.
To strengthen America's economy, we are also helping more people buy a home. We have reached a commitment that all licensed home appraisers be required to complete racialized training.
Okay. And the Biden-Harris record for home ownership?
She brags about student loan bailouts, even though they're getting struck down by the courts.
Our administration has forgiven student loan debt for nearly 5 million Americans. And twice as much for our public servants, including our teachers.
And let's not forget that aligning herself with the most mainstream folks out there, though, I mean, she can say that, right? If you call RuPaul's drag team mainstream.
We interrupt this program to bring you a message from an extra special Drag Race viewing party.
Hi everyone, it's Kamala Harris. Each day we are seeing our rights and freedoms under attack, including the right of everyone to be who they are.
That's ironic. She doesn't want to tell us who she really is. Well, here's the bottom line. The media, they're desperately jamming Kamala Harris's career into the memory hole because despite all the positions she's held, she has no notable accomplishments, only a collection of failures. She's almost 60 years old. She's been senator, vice president, of course, in her state, she had her own record, but the record there is so bad that the people who run her campaign have decided to hide it all together. And you think about it, when you watch her, she looks like someone running for president of her high school class, not president of the United States.
Hello, Wisconsin! It is my distinct honor to introduce the first woman elected vice president of the United States and the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
We have real problems in America, and we need a real president. Harris cannot fill that role, and that will be a problem for her in this campaign. And that's the angle. Joining us now, Ari Fleischer, former White House press secretary, and Molly Hemingway, editor-in-chief of The Federalist, both Fox News contributors. So, Molly, this attempt to rebrand her and remake her, is it possible that that could be successful despite the fact that she has a long record that is easily seen and easily showcased as the angle just is?
Well, Democrats have a very difficult situation because the current presidency is a failed presidency, and Kamala Harris is the current vice president. And so they are working so hard to say that she had nothing to do with the failed economy, with the failed border, with the failed foreign policy. But the problem is that what they're saying, therefore, is that she did nothing while the country burned. She did nothing while the country endured these horrific situations with the economy and with the border. And so both of you can understand why they want to separate her from the failed Biden presidency, but in so doing, they're showing just how
excellent.
Well, Ari, I mean, the fact that they're now so scared of this border issue, they sent around a memo to everybody on Capitol Hill about how to message Kamala and the border, and apparently one of the things to say is she was never borders on her. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing ever. I mean, that's it? That's their argument? She never was the border zone?
And the media intercepted the memo, and they said, oh, no, let us say that for you. I have the feeling that the White House put out a memo right now that said Kamala is the border czar. Everybody in the media would go running around saying, wait a minute, she is the border czar. I mean, this is bizarre what's happening with all of this coverage. But she's got deep problems, which is why she was more unpopular than Joe Biden. And I think everybody sees that and knows that. And the media, if you thought they were in the tank previously, the tank just got bigger, deeper, and wider. And they love being in the tank for Kamala Harris now.
Well, there was an interesting panel, Molly, it was actually on, I believe it was on MSNBC, of female voters who were asked about Kamala Harris. Let's watch.
How do you perceive Vice President Harris compared to President Biden in terms of competency and experience?
I think she's worse. She doesn't even know what's going on at the border.
Right.
And that's what she was supposed to be doing and then charge her.
I don't get a good feel for her.
I think she's an idiot. Right. She hasn't done anything in the time that she's had. She's not real smart.
Well, I think what happened, those people, are tending to be Trump supporters there, but it doesn't matter because
they tried to kind of cordon her off, Molly, and you get the sense that they didn't think she put in enough time reading the briefing books, and she was blaming her staff when she crashed and burned when she was on camera. Today she ran off camera and didn't answer questions after meeting with Netanyahu. We're going to get to that in a moment. But I think that Sel's job is hard. She's not Obama in 2008.
Full strength coming handy from a boss fight.
Right, and President Obama wanted her to be like him when he kind of got behind her.
Moderate wounds.
But she did not make an impression on Democrat voters at that time. She got about as many electoral votes as I did in that primary, which is to say none. And then since she has been in this office, she is not distinguishing herself. At no point have people gotten the feeling that she is particularly competent. The Democrat Party could have had a primary giving their voters a chance to pick a change agent. And they might very well have done so if given that opportunity. But they're in this problem now because nobody thinks Kamala Harris is a change agent. They know who she is vice president to. This Biden administration has struggled so mightily across every level. That's why Americans routinely say that they feel frustrated by this presidency. But now they're stuck, and they have to use the propaganda press, which they have completely in their pocket, to try to keep her over the finish line.
Well, Ari, if you were advising the Trump campaign about how to handle her right now, what would you say to them?
You know, it's interesting because I think the campaign is doing it. They put it on the teleprompter for the president to read to focus on her most liberal in the Senate record, her ideological record, being opposed to fracking, for support for the Green New Deal. There's a bevy of quotes that she has given that shows just how out of the touch she is with the mainstream of America.
45 fucking pounds. I like it. But I'm using two-handers this adventure. Exotic two-handers. Can't even keep it around. 45 pounds. Okay.
She is. And if you combine Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, you get Kamala Harris. And nobody wants that, particularly in the battleground states where this is going to be decided.
Yeah, well, Molly, the bread and butter issues. I mean, the fact is Americans are in the Biden economy. If you want more money in your pocket, you want cheaper fuel, you want to keep your gas-powered car, you don't want so many migrants running around your hometown or your cities, you can't go for her. She might be a nice lady, might be a good talk show host someday, might be a cool stepmom, but that doesn't work if you actually care about prosperity and peace. I think that's what I would do.
Yeah, to Ari's point, there are so many examples of her being so extreme on issues, particularly in states where it matters, whether it's destroying the energy industry, making it so people can't eat meat. She has these radical views. She actually has a lot of the same views that Joe Biden did, but he was able to kind of present as a moderate. She has never tried, until maybe about 24 hours ago, to present herself as a moderate, and now it's going to come back to her.
You know, Scranton Joe versus San Francisco, Kamala. I don't think so. All right, Molly, thanks both of you. All right, and Kamala, again, pretends today to be president after she was MIA yesterday when Bibi Netanyahu addressed Congress. What happened today that makes me say that? I'll tell you about it when we come back.
Why do some things have to be so complicated? You don't know either, Stephen. But at least when it comes to dental care, Aspen Dental makes getting new dentures and implants easier with the technology and expertise to give you the right fit. And $0 down with 0% interest to pay in full in 18 months. Making things as simple as they should be. It's one more way Aspen Dental is in your corner.
Before revolution. Before America. Before destiny came home. He was George.
You have ambitions. I have tried, sir.
A pioneer, a soldier, a leader on the rise.
Ready yourself, get the general out of here, now!
This is the story of the greatest American before there was an American. This is the story of George. George, Rise of a Revolutionary. Streaming now on Fox Nation.
If you're about to replace your roof, stop. Here's a solution that's a fraction of the cost.
RoofMax, guaranteed to extend the life of your roof up to 15 years at a fraction of the cost of a new roof. RoofMax's scientifically proven bio-oil restores flexibility and water protection to strengthen and extend the life of your roof.
They applied the first treatment in fall of 2016, and many of our neighbors have had their roofs replaced, but our roof has stood the test of time, so we're very thankful.
This is a 17-year-old asphalt shingle that literally disintegrates. But here's an identical shingle that we treated with RoofMax's proven formula. It passed rigorous flexibility testing from the Ohio State University as a new shingle.
21 years old and has seen some horrendous storms unfortunately come through here. And my roof looks like it got put on a few weeks ago.
9 out of 10 roofs can be saved by RoofMax. And that's why RoofMax has treated nearly 200 million square feet of roofs all across America. We're America's #1 rated roofer with over 8,000 reviews.
We're having high winds and shingles are blowing off the roofs continually. But 5 years later, after the application, the roofs look great.
A RoofMax roof can also pass a home inspection if you're getting ready to sell or for insurance, saving you money. So don't spend tens of thousands replacing your roof. Restore it with RoofMax for up to 80% less.
It's done what it said it would do.
And I'm going to have this to say, if he is satisfied with it, it has to be good.
Call or go online now for a comprehensive leak threat analysis and roof maintenance tune-up, an $859 value free. RoofMax, proud partners with the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption. When you restore your roof with RoofMax, you help find a forever home for a child waiting in foster care.
That's the story. Welcome to MODLIST and
Here's my big story on moving.
Don't miss the story with Martin Account with Jason Fox News Channel.
Are you using or thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Don't.
This is a very special place. Very special. Like the one.
Clubs, leagues, and courts in every province and territory across Canada. Squash is the sport for wall-to-wall fun, fitness, and friendship. From coast to coast to coast. Learn to play and you'll want to do it every day. Squash. Play inside the box.
Last 2 years that I've been on my own, it's been really challenging learning to make ends meet. And then when you can see my daughter for things like food, putting the cost of food down, all the groceries and other necessities that they're getting, and it's always got to be smile. Thanks to married ranks, seniors like myself live in great security.
This portrait on Fentic Moss and a few of the other guys are the original portraits that are redone. Like retouched up, but they're the OG ones. I downloaded the mods for them too.
And today, she tried to clean up that act by releasing a statement saying that she's against violence and flag burning. By meeting in person then with Bibi Netanyahu, that maybe helped a little bit, but then she played the president on TV.
As I just told Prime Minister Netanyahu, it is time to get this deal done. So to everyone who has been calling for a ceasefire, and to everyone who yearns for peace, I see you and I hear you. Let's get the deal done so we can get a ceasefire to end the war.
Now, this is a blatant attempt to boost her foreign policy credibility by using the White House as her campaign backdrop.
From when I was a young girl, collecting funds to plant trees for Israel,
to my time in the United States Senate and now at the White House, I've had an unwavering commitment to the existence
I
of
looted
Israel,
everything.
to its security, and to the people of Israel.
Now, just like Biden himself, of course, she took no questions at the end. Joining us now, Newt Gingrich, former Speaker of the House, Fox News political analyst. Newt, she's not the president, but she's playing one on TV. How important was that moment today for people to understand what's really going on the foreign policy question, given her appalling record there, as well as all the other issues we already hit tonight?
Oh, look, I think we have to recognize that in many ways now she is the president. I mean, does anybody seriously believe that Joe Biden, in his currently weakened condition, is in any serious way running the country? So you just got a taste of what a President Kamala Harris would be like. The problem she has, of course, is, as you point out, that she is a San Francisco radical, that her record is impossible to hide no matter how hard the media tries to hide it, dump it in a memory hole, or get rid of it. The objective fact is, in the end, she will be a San Francisco radical. But in all fairness, parties get to compete by using the tools that they've got. One of the tools they've got right now is the White House. So you can't blame her for trying. I just don't think it does her much good because in the end, I think she, no matter what happens in the next 6 weeks, no matter all the effort of the news media, no matter who she picks as vice president, in the end, she will be a San Francisco radical. She will not be able to get away from that, and it will, in the end, crush her just as it crushed Dukakis and it crushed McGovern.
What would you say about strategy for debating her, or debating her at all? I mean, there are some questions today. She's out there saying, "Well, I'm going to debate him," and he's trying to back off and debating me. What would you advise former President Trump?
Well, first of all, I would say to Vice President Harris, if you look at the last decade, anyone who thinks it's easy to debate Donald Trump is really foolish. He will be ready, partly because he lives it. I mean, he's done all the things that she wants to pretend to do. So, but I would say that there's a difference here. The left is going to pick nasty, mean, personal fights because they can't win any problem other than possibly with abortion on some terms, and even there they lose if you push them to
Toughness I'm looking for. Is this the one?
That's an extremist position, and that loses too. So there's no policy issue where they're going to win. So they got to get into nasty, mean, personal things. I think she would go in and try and debate Trump. And my advice is really simple. We win if we are slower, if we keep a distance. It's like a boxing match. We want to punch from a distance. She wants to clinch. We want it to be slower so you can see the facts. She wants it to be really fast so that, in fact, it all stays cluttered. The more cluttered it is, the better her chance. The more open and clear it is, the worse her chance. And my view is we should work very hard, sidestep all the mean, nasty things, and just stay on the basic things. That'd be my advice.
Well, I mean, look, who thinks she's smarter than Hillary Clinton? And Trump,
There goes the tutorial.
Debating Hillary Clinton when he stayed focused on
the prologue, whatever.
That's not a problem. I want to get back to this issue of the pro-Hamas wing of the Democrat Party. They know this is a problem. That's why she came out today and tried to pretend I'm a friend of Israel. But this is the Hakeem Jeffries with our own Chad Berger. Watch.
Many of these folks associate with the left wing of your party. Talk about that divide.
Not going to be that any of the protesters associate with the left wing of the Democratic Party. That's a factual assumption that is inaccurate.
Did Hakeem Jeffries miss Rashida Tlaib holding the war criminal, or the heck she was holding genocidal maniacs on?
From the bloody
well, look, they have a big problem. I think, by the way, this is why, in the end, Harris will not be able to pick Governor Shapiro of Pennsylvania. I think to walk into that convention
with a Jewish governor as her vice presidential candidate would cause such a level of tension in places like Michigan that it would just be a wild scene. And it would sort of resemble Union Station. They have a real problem. The problem is more and more of their party is anti-Semitic, more and more of their party sides with terrorism, and more of their party is deeply hostile, not just to Israel, but deeply hostile to the United States. And I think this is an underlying split in their party, which will be interesting to see how they try to write a platform compared to what the Republicans achieved in Milwaukee. Because how do they bring their radical left wing and what's left of the old pro-Israel wing, how do they get something on that in the platform? I think they have a very hard time.
No, thank you so much. All right, there was a very interesting series of questions asked today at the White House briefing about why Biden dropped out. Why now? What changed? We'll play it for you and analyze it next.
What impacts you every day? Undeniably, there's one influential book that shapes the way we measure, creates, and ignite change. The Bible's impact is all around you. Discover how at Museum of the Bible.
IRS. 3 letters that strike fear into everyone, and for good reason. The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth. And being in debt with the IRS can have serious consequences. Oftentimes it begins with the IRS sending you a collection letter, but then escalates. And before you know it, you're having your paychecks garnished, your bank account seized, even your home or business can be at risk.
My problem was I had to pay my taxes in 8 years. I was trying to take on the IRS by myself. I had 5 children, trying to take care of my kids, and a lot of stress.
I owed the IRS over $10,000. They told me the possibilities of garnishing my wages to resolve this debt that I owed them.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. But there was nothing I could do about it. I was just overwhelmed with what to do. These stories are all too common. But thankfully, there's Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 most trusted tax resolution firm. Optima's experts have helped thousands of people with stories just like these resolve their tax debt.
I owe $15,000. I only had to pay $3,500, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything. It was easy, like 1, 2, 3.
Since I've settled everything with the IRS, with Optimal Tax help, I'm going to be able to succeed instead of just worry.
Sent the paperwork in, the debt will be cleared, the liens will be taken off. Now I'm a happy camper. If you owe the IRS, don't go to law. Give up the tax code.
So don't wait. Today you have options. Tomorrow you might not. Optima's tax professionals are standing by, ready to help you now.
For a free consultation, call 800-587-3950. Optima Tax Relief.
Whether you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s and beyond, I know you're seeing changes in the skin on your body. Don't panic. It's never too late to transform yourself and your skin. And Crepe Erase is here to do just that.
Crepe Erase has been delivering smoother, firmer, younger-looking skin for almost a decade.
Did you know that Crepe Erase is America's #1 selling anti-aging body treatment system for dry, crepey skin? That's because it works, people. The Crepe Erase 2-step system is clinically shown to reduce crepey-looking skin the very first time you use it. I just love my skin. I didn't love it before. I love it now.
And now there's the big news. We're introducing a skin revitalizing tool, specially designed to amplify the power of Crepe Erase.
This is the skin revitalizing tool. It is new and it is free. Yes, you have it right. It's free.
Crepe Erase is already an incredible deal at only $49.95. When you order today, we'll send you the Skin Revitalizing Tool, a $129 value free.
I mean, it's like having a spa in your hand. And you'll also receive our luxurious neck repair treatment, a $49 value free. Since using Crepe Erase, the skin on my neck looks airbrushed. I love it.
These 2 incredible bonuses are valued together at $178, but they're our free gift to you.
Preparation is something I recommend to my patients because it works.
Don't wait. Get all this. A $247 value for only $49.95. Plus free shipping.
If you're not reveling in your younger-looking, soft, sexy skin, just return the bottles, even if they're used up and empty, and we'll give you your money back.
This is a limited time offer that will not last. Scan the QR code, call, or go to TradeRates.com and order right now.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan Morgan. With so many mesothelioma lawyers on television, how do you choose the right firm for you and your family? Our goal is to get you as much as you deserve. $30 billion for suicide mesothelioma victims like you. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, we'll come to you in 24 hours, so our team will get to work right away. Call us now. There's only one Morgan Morgan. Call 800-585-1010. GIA Diamonds, lowest prices ever. The Jewelry Exchange has natural 1 carat GIAs just $19.90. Custom outs are just $4.99. Carat 50, $29.90. 2 carat, $59.90. Thousands of diamonds guaranteed the lowest price. The Jewelry Exchange.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America needs to listen.
This is the Fox News Alert. I'm Kelly Painter live in New York. Coordinated sabotage this morning in France, just about 9 hours now away from the opening ceremony of the Summer Olympics. The vandals have targeted high-speed rail routes with arson attacks. France's state railways company says the fires were set at installations along the lines connecting the capital with the country's west, north, and east, and that services will be severely impacted during the weekend. Train stations are already crowded with passengers not able to get to their final destination. A local official says one of the attempted acts was foiled, but damage has been caused to several facilities. The opening ceremony slated for later today, France has been rolling out an unprecedented peacetime security operation to secure the event. There are more than 45,000 police, 10,000 soldiers, and 2,000 private security agents deployed. Snipers will also be on rooftops and drones keeping watch from the air. At this time, there's no word on who might be behind this vandalism. The Fox News Channel for more on this story. I'm Kelly Painter. Now back to regular programming already in progress.
The majority man. She was like, want to get out of that room today. Okay, she knows this. He didn't answer the question. I want to put up some photos of inside the Oval Office when the Biden family, they were sitting there as she was speaking. And we were hearing that this was such a wonderful moment, and Joe Biden is such a patriot for doing this, and this is going to be great for America. Do they look happy? Look at Jill's face. Now we have a close-up of Hunter and his wife, and I don't know who that is. I don't know who that other person is. But they all look, his brother, okay? They all look miserable. I can't hear people yelling in my ear, sorry. Go ahead.
Their crime spree is over. Folks are not going to be honest. I mean, this is funny when people are asking them to be honest, and it's just a bunch of liars in that White House. They're not going to be honest about the fact that the regime media and Democrats realized that the conspiracy of silence and lies had collapsed with that the debate debacle, that their lawfare collapsed, so they conducted a soft coup and kicked the senile old man to the curb. And listening last night to him drone on and slur through the word democracy again and again, it just struck me. Of course, nothing says democracy like nullifying an election, removing the incumbent president and replacing it with a neo-Marxist who, when she was running for president in 2020 and facing the Democratic base, didn't get one delegate. And the thing that really has struck me over these last 4 days, Laura, is the regime media and the Democrats' behavior has a whiff of the Bolshevik about it. Kamala Harris, with her adherence to DEI and neo-Marxist ideology and a strong advocate for the Green New Deal, is really advancing towards the socialism, which is communism. And then watching the regime media memory poll, Axios saying that she wasn't really Porter's arm, how it is that a record as the farthest left senator, just memory polling it, it's pretty stunning to watch what's been taking place in the last 4 days.
Now, we're used to spin and the political business, but when Corinne Jean-Pierre made a comment at the briefing today, this comment, even I was stunned.
This is a selfless act, something that very few politicians would ever do. President Biden will go down in history as one of the nation's greatest presidents, accomplishing more in nearly 4 years than most presidents do in 8 years.
Chris, for people listening in their car, she actually had to read that. So, you're probably like, they should just, I maintain that they would have saved everyone a lot of time if they just handed out a briefing book. Every day they should have just given the briefing book to the press because she had to read that we're the most successful in this show. She can't just say it. She has to read it. That's how scared they are right now.
So, yeah, there should be handing out the ammo for the press to read off of to elect Kamala Harris. And if you watch the speech last night, that's kind of what she got. Joe Biden out there saying, I'm the greatest president who's ever been. I'm in the league with a lot of founders and Abraham Lincoln, and that's why I'm stepping aside. And about 100 days before the next election, I'm, quote, passing the torch. But everyone knows is under extreme duress. So if you're saying the Beltway and you're a Democrat or Republican who's used to this, you might look at that and say, okay, fine, I'm satisfied. Doesn't matter. The real reason we all know he's leaving is because he's behind in the polls and Democrats are completely obsessed with beating Donald Trump. But if you're someone in America who just got home from work and you're looking for explanation from this president, that's not what you got at all. There was no handling of why he's stepping aside, no explanation of the forces that pushed him. Today, during his 90-second public appearance with Netanyahu, reporters called up and said, hey, are you resigning because of your health? He shook his head no. It's cryptic. There's no answer to be given. And all we're doing right now is demonizing Republicans. And Democrats could be facing some questions about this in Chicago.
Well, it didn't look good. That photo did not look good. That was Hunter's daughter. Sorry. I lose track of Hunter's wives and so forth. That was his daughter next to him in the photo. Sorry about that. All right, Chris and Ned, thank you. All right, now the White House is telling us that one thing didn't cause Biden's change of heart.
I can tell you it was not a medical decision because I've been asked before and we answered that very straightforward and in a very direct way. I'm just not going to get beyond that.
Despite now being a lame duck, Biden last night gave a laundry list of things he said he wanted to accomplish before he leaves.
I'll keep defending our personal freedoms and our civil rights, grow our economy. I'll keep calling out hate and extremism to protect our kids from gun violence, our planet from climate crisis, and I'll keep fighting for my cancer child. I'm going to call for Supreme Court reform. We'll keep rallying a coalition of proud nations to stop Putin. We'll keep NATO stronger, and I'm going to keep working in the war in Gaza, bring home all the hostages, and bring peace and security to the Middle East.
Joining now, Dr. Mark Siegel, Fox News medical contributor. That's quite a laundry list. The cancer moonshot, peace in the Middle East. I mean, Dr. Siegel, given what you saw last night, the way he looked, the way he spoke, to me it looked like a hostage taker. Is this a man vigorous enough to work through all of these initiatives?
I'm deeply concerned about this, Laura. I'm glad that he was reading off the teleprompter, but his eyes didn't even meet the camera. And you and I know what that means. And the fact is, I don't think he would have remembered half of the things that he recited if it wasn't written down for him. But most importantly, he was emotionally vaping. I thought he was winning. I think Thomas Jefferson is turning over in his grave. Did you ever hear anyone recite words to the Declaration of Independence without emotion? I worry that he's deeply depressed. I worry that he's getting worse in terms of his cognition. I am so angry at the White House for obfuscating, no transparency. Sean Connolly, who was the president's stockbroker, President Trump, pointed out to me the other day how many times, he was vilified before the camera. He had to give every single detail. Where's Kevin O'Connor, the president's doctor, assuring the American public about everything? We know the White House is lying. We know that he's not in good health. The entire American public knows that on both sides of the aisle. What do they think they're getting away with here?
Well, the people are talking about whether he had a big bruise on his chin. You can't really see it there, but you can kind of see it when you look. I mean, who knows what it is? Maybe it's bad makeup job, but something didn't look right about him. Actually, as a human being, it's concerning to see another human being in distress. And he seemed to me, just a regular person, he seemed almost in distress to me. Well, the New York Post did get a few questions to Biden's physician you just mentioned. How is this mental cognition? It's excellent. Sir, recently you didn't perform a cognitive test on him? He's good every day? What about Parkinson's disease or related condition? Doctor, is there anything to that speculation that there might be something yes. Dr. Siegel, he said he kept saying he's good and he's here every day. Not all that responsive.
Well, neuropsychiatric testing is not, I'm here every day, I'm sorry, that doesn't count. You need a neurologist. He's never admitted where the imaging studies of his brain is. And yeah, I agree that he probably doesn't have Parkinson's disease, but he's got some kind of progressive dementia going on. And that laughing manner doesn't help us either on the part of Dr. O'Connor. He has to be held accountable. By the way, Laura, I agree with what you just said before. I feel compassion for the president. It looks really sad what's going on here, but I feel compassion for the American public too, and that they have to deal with a White House that seems to be overtly lying to them.
Well, I'm thinking what this does to our foreign policy and what our adversaries are thinking watching this. Dr. Siegel, thank you. And it's not good. Thank you so much. All right, brand new 2024 polls just released. We're going to dive in next.
We love being outside. The sun makes our deck and patio super hot to enjoy.
Now, thanks to our new Sunsetter retractable line, we can select full sun or instant shade in just 60 seconds.
It's 20 degrees cooler under the Sunsetter, and we get instant protection from harmful UV rays and sun glare.
For pricing starting at less than $1,000, transform your outdoor living space into a shady retreat your family will love. When you call, we'll run a special $200 discount certificate. Awning idea kit. You get $799.
For over 20 years, Sunsetter has been the most respectable awning in America.
Call now for this free awning idea kit, packed with great solutions that will let you enjoy your deck or patio much more often. Plus, get this $200 discount certificate that will bring you your Sunsetter for as little as $799. But this is a limited time offer. Call now.
Sunsetters are backed with a 10-year limited warranty.
More than 1 million families in America own and love their Sunsetter. Now you too can discover why life is better under a Sunsetter. It's like putting an extension on your home. And talk about options. Choose motorized or manual. And for just a little extra, add LED lighting for evening enjoyment.
There are so many incredible styles to choose from in our free awning idea kit. Get a custom-built awning without the custom-built price.
Call now to get the whole Sunsetter story. You'll get this free awning idea kit, plus a $200 discount certificate. And there's no obligation. With Sunsetter, you'll create the ultimate outdoor living space, perfect for entertaining friends. Call now for your free awning idea kit with local dealer info and $200 discount certificate. Life is better under a Sunsetter. Act now and save.
Have you ever thought of getting a walk-in tub for you or someone you love? Now is a great time to take a look at getting a Safe Step walk-in tub. With Safe Step's standard heated seat and new fast-built faucet, you can enjoy a nice warm bath up to 20% faster.
And a convenient touchpad control right at your fingertips.
Each tub comes standard with a dual hydrotherapy system. The Team Water Jets can help increase mobility, relieve pain, boost energy, and improve sleep. While the MicroSoothe Advanced Air Therapy System oxygenates and softens skin.
Safe Step walk-in tubs are built to maximize safety, so you can stay in your home and enjoy the comforts of bathing again.
So call now for more information and a free no-obligation consultation. Call now 1-882-9981. There's never been a better time. That's 1-800-882-9981.
With powerful perspective and smart insight, you'll only get an October. Weekdays at 12 on Fox News Channel.
This is an urgent notice about ovarian cancer. If you or a loved one were recently
to encourage our care and to encourage all of your family and friends to do the same. Together, we can save lives.
Get together with friends and family. Remember to ride, reduce impaired driving. Because ride starts with you. It starts with a designated driver and in the kitchen. We offer guests unlimited drinks. When you call a friend to come and pick you up, and at the corner when you catch the last bus. In the driveway with a simple please, or in the living room when you decide to stay overnight. However you ride, thanks for doing your part to keep our roads safe. And that's the Drive Alive Drive Zone.
And just out from Emerson in the key 5 swing states, Truckley, Kamala, and Oklahoma won. He's up by 5 in Arizona, 2 in Georgia, 1 in Michigan, 2 in Pennsylvania, and is tied with her in Wisconsin. Joining me now, Doug Schoen, former advisor to President Clinton. He's also a Democratic pollster and strategist. Doug, what does these polls tell us now? Obviously, this is a honeymoon, I should say, moment for Kamala Harris, but there's some shifts here.
Yeah, I think that's how I would characterize it, Laura. There's a bump she's got clearly the withdrawal of Joe Biden and the consolidation of the Democratic Party around her. She's doing somewhat better with younger voters, with independents, particularly Hispanics. She's doing less well with non-college educated whites. And I think there's an enthusiasm boost that probably has given her a couple of points over what Joe Biden had, though she still trails in 5 of the 7 national polls released since Joe Biden's withdrawal.
One thing I found very interesting in the crosstabs of this poll is the popularity of Trump. His overall popularity is up. Hers is up too, but his is up now. Overall, 48% of registered voters say they have a favorable view of him. And in previous polls, it's always found his favorability ratings between 39% and 45%. Her favorability is at 46%, which is up from 36%. So she's gotten a boost, but so has he. At this point, where do you expect this to go, and what are the key inflection points moving forward as we get toward the Democrat National Convention?
The first and most obvious point is the Republicans had a very successful convention, particularly Donald Trump. I think the issues for Kamala Harris are, can she sustain
We're going to hire you, buddy.
on the southern border, on criminal justice, on her record as Attorney General, and being one of the, if not the most liberal Democratic senators. Those attacks haven't come yet, and whether she'll face the kind of scrutiny that John Kerry faced in 2004. The Democratic Convention is an obvious inflection point for her as well. And of course, the first debate, which may well, but not definitely, is slated to happen in September.
Well, she's leading Trump by 2 right now. Is that among independents? I think that's where we are. That might be surprising for some Trump supporters to see tonight. What does that tell us?
It tells us that the Democrat-leaning independents have moved to her because the party consolidated around her. I think those numbers are very much in flux, given the fact that people really don't know that much about her. But face it, her launch was quite successful. Everyone consolidated around her. No attacks. But still, she's trailing Trump, the swing states, and nationally, though it's closer than it was when Joe Biden was a candidate.
Well, when you look at the way ads are starting to move, I mean, there's a big new ad out tonight about how, look, despite the effort to reboot, rebrand, and recast her, she's a classic San Francisco liberal. And so it's the scenes of San Francisco, the fentanyl, the crime, the increased number of people leaving San Francisco, and basically saying, if you want that coming to your hometown, vote for Kamala Harris. I think that's going to be a devastating attack on her record, not on her personally, but on her beliefs and her record.
As do I, Laura, and I think the fact that she was sympathetic, at the very least, to the defund the police movement will also hurt her as well. But to me, the big issue is her role as the border czar. I think most Americans are outraged with the record number of illegal immigrants coming into our country, and how she and the Democrats will answer that, I don't really know. I think Trump's the favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I think she said, well, you torched the border bill. Well, the border bill would have let in 1.8 million people a year. That's easily dispensed with. You still think Trump's the favorite. He is on all the betting sites.
Yeah, to me, he's a narrow favorite. This could go either way, but if I had to bet, and I don't bet, but if I did, I bet on Trump. His numbers are up, and I think today he's run a more disciplined campaign than he's run in his prior to.
Keep it on the issues. Doug, great to see you. Thanks so much.
Exactly.
All right, she pretends to be tough on crime to his point about San Francisco, but what does her actual record say? We're going to expose it next. Fox Nation would like to thank all active military and veterans for offering their first year of Fox Nation free, streaming exclusive shows that celebrate our
220.
This is the story of the greatest American.
See what she got. Oh, she ain't got anything here.
highlighting those who put their lives on
She used to have a lot of shit.
This is their Top Gun school of 1 or 2 seconds, and sometimes be the difference between life and death.
Go to foxnation.com and get your first year for free.
What is it about Cindy Crawford?
The secret to Cindy's surprisingly ageless skin is Meaningful Beauty Supreme, created by French anti-aging specialist Dr. Jean-Louis Sabah. His youth-preserving formulas come from a genetically unique melon found only in the south of France, with an astonishing youth-preserving enzyme known as the youth molecule that's kept Cindy's skin looking so youthful. I'm about to turn 50, and people absolutely can't believe it. They say there's no way. There's no way. So I'm headed to the mall today, and we're doing a pop-up event for new Meaningful Beauty Supreme. And it should be a lot of fun.
So what brought you here today? Well, I've been using Meaningful Beauty for almost 2 years, right? I just had these dark bags, and after 4 pregnancies, the pigmentation was just never know my looking at. Well, that is because of your products. Your skin, it doesn't just look younger, it acts younger. It feels younger.
Now, it's time to experience Meaningful Beauty Supreme for yourself. You'll start with Cindy's must-have skin softening cleanser.
Then our luminous anti-aging day cream.
Next, Cindy's advanced lip and eye cream that visibly reduces puffiness, dark circles, and crow's feet.
Then let the rejuvenation begin with Dr. Sabah's incredible age recovery night cream.
And now, Dr. Sabah brings you the astonishing youth-activating melon serum.
This next generation serum has the power of melon red stem cells.
It's like we are bringing you the quintessential identity of metal. All its
Okay.
anti-power and magic right to your skin.
His clients often pay thousands of dollars for a series of treatments.
That's why when purchased separately, Meaningful Beauty's regular price of $139 is already an incredible bargain. But Cindy decided to offer Meaningful Beauty directly to you so she can make her secret affordable for everyone.
You will have to pay $139 for Meaningful Beauty, not $99 or even $79.
Order now, and you'll pay just $59.95 for all 5 concentrated super treatments.
And now for 2024 and beyond, be among the first 500 orders now, and we'll add Cindy's new Super Brightening Duo, a $120 value, free.
You'll get all these age-defying super treatments. $260 total value. Yours now for just $59.95.
But what if we could go even lower?
That's right.
Just use today's promo code SAVE10, and we'll knock another $10 off our already low price. That means you'll pay just $49.95 for everything you see here.
We'll even add free shipping. Call the number below or go to meaningfulbeauty.com right now. Are you using or thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Don't overpay. Other pills deliver the same results for less than $2 a pill. That's right, only $2. Say goodbye to paying $7 or more for a pill that gives you a fraction of the price. You can save $18 per pill and get the same great results. How about this offer? Purchase $9, you'll get 50 blue or yellow pills. That's a savings of over $90
prosecutor Kamala Harris went easy on criminals. Case in point of Andre Broussard, convicted of a vicious assault and robbery. Kamala asked the judge to leave probation. And while he was on probation, he killed a journalist. And then there's cop killer David Hill. He shot 12 times at 2 officers on AK-47. One died, the other was hurt. Kamala refused to seek the death penalty. And it was the same deal for an MS-13 gang member, Edwin Ramos. He killed a man and his 2 sons after mistaking them as rival gang members. Joining me now, someone who has seen her failed policies firsthand, Alex Villanueva, former LA County Sheriff. Alex, where's the tough on crime prosecutor that Democrats are trying to say that Kamala really was and in her heart really still is?
All I have to say is Proposition 47. She was a cheerleader. She gave it a misleading title. So the Safe Neighborhoods and Schools Act is exactly the cause that led us to now having the nation's #1 death of opiate overdoses, drug overdoses, and retail theft. So California is the capital of all you can tie it to Prop 47 and progressive prosecutors like she wants to pretend that she wasn't.
Well, she also would like to decriminalize, obviously. She loves the decriminalization of drugs. She touts that, laughs about it. What has that done to California? It was supposed to get rid of all the rough crime and all the cartels. They were going to have no reduced influence in the state. Does that happen?
Not quite the exact opposite has happened now. Cartels have great influence. They're running the entire marijuana cannabis industry right now. In fact, the illegal operations outnumber the legal ones in the state. You imagine that all of these stem from these progressive policies that Kamala Harris pushed. And it's not only San Francisco VA, but the Attorney General for the state of California. Now she wants to pretend it didn't happen.
The idea of reimagining the police, I mean, you've heard her talk about that a lot. She talked about it in 2020. She was obviously all in on the
Peninsula District, eh?
not the criminality necessarily,
Okay.
of the George Floyd riots / protests, and said they were going to continue. And she said, beware. I mean, she's talking about the whole situation. But what about that? And just her overall reaction to what we saw in the summer of 2020?
Well, that's because the summer.
Can't save this. I think it's been a couple hours or so.
We're racist and are targeting young black men, which is absolutely false. And they knew it, but it served a political narrative, and they rode that to victory in 2020. And now we have the tragic murder of Sonia Macy, and what do we get? We're getting the same recycled narrative all over again. Oh my God, we have to reform the criminal justice system. We have to reform law enforcement. What they're trying to say is let's get rid of law enforcement because the world is a better place without cops. That is the code language that they're using.
But they kind of succeeded. We still have historic low in recruitment in key urban areas across the United States.
Excellent. We'll catch you guys on the flip, all right? Peace.
Is that not the legacy, yes or no, of Kamala Harris?
Wait a minute.
It is. In fact, we have now the city of Torrance, $100,000 to become a Torrance.
Do this fast.
That is the new reality. Wrap your mind around that.
Yeah, that's Kamala Harris's record. She's tough on crime. All right, Alex, thanks so much. That's it for us tonight. Make sure to follow me on social media. That's some new photos up there on Instagram. Jesse Waters takes it all from here. Hi.
Excellent. All right, peace. Stay tuned.